Good morning and hello, I'm Gregory and this is 1 in 20 D&D. We are about to do number 41 for my DnDaily here, and so welcome to another session, episode, whatever we're going to call this, my daily vlog, or almost daily. We're doing like 5 or 6 of these each week or something. I'm pretty stoked. I hope you saw that I uploaded a new Car Wars video yesterday, and it's part 1 of Battle 2, which is kind of funny because I guess I jumped around a little bit, and anyway, this was from a while back when I very first started recording any of our games, so it's pretty rough around the edges and was challenging. It took like over 10 hours of editing just to get it to where it was sort of clean enough for me to feel like, okay, well, hey, this is good enough, and it's hopefully entertaining, and it was a fun game. So that's for our Car Wars game. I have a couple more sessions from our big tournament battle that we did, and I will get those edited as soon as I can. I'm editing something for fun that is sort of a very big deviation from any of the other stuff I've done on this channel so far. So I'm really excited about that. I'll keep you guys posted and hopefully have that done during this week. So we'll see how that goes. I have a couple things to catch up on. I'm excited. I have a lot to kind of watch / listen to this week that I'm really looking forward to. Critical Role last week released the Search for Grog, which is their kind of throwback to Vox Machina. So they're going to be playing all the old characters from Campaign 1 and trying to find Grog. And if you don't know anything about what I'm talking about, that's okay. Go watch Critical Role. Go watch the first season of Critical Role. They're amazing. You can jump in like anywhere, really. Even like start at the beginning or even jump ahead to like 40, 50 episodes in or something. It's just an incredible story. And so I'm really excited about that. In fact, I almost feel like I need to go back and listen to some of the like not the last episode maybe, but the sort of the finale they did where they kind of tied all things together and said like a little bit about the aftermath of the campaign. That would be fun. I'll probably do that. I also have last week's actual Critical Role that I haven't gotten to watch yet, so I'm excited about that. And Matthew Colville released episode 4 of The Chain of Acheron, so I'm super stoked. I have a bunch of good stuff to dig into this week, and I'm looking forward to that. That'll help me pass the time this week for sure. Back to what I started out with. I'm going to get a couple more of our videos out this week. I think for sure, I'm going to try to get a Battletech session out, and I'm also going to try to go back into getting some D&D games out. So I have a lot of editing in the works, and hopefully we'll have some of that posted quickly for you all. Thank you for your patience. Thanks for checking these out and spending a little bit of time with me. So it is Monday, and I've started this kind of rhythm, and I haven't like officially committed, but I kind of made a loose commitment to myself to take Mondays and do like a Mental Health Monday D&D stream where I'm talking a little bit about and I don't know if this is technically a stream. I'm actually recording it and then posting it, so I guess maybe not a stream, but the point being, I want to spend a little bit of time and talk about something that is revolving around, how can we be healthy gamers? How can we create healthy environments at our game tables? How can we in our online games? How can we be healthier in the community? There's a million things that I don't know that anyone out there is like actively discussing them, and I really feel like it's important that happens. Those conversations need to happen because I love gaming, and I've loved gaming for a long time. Over 30 years I've been playing tabletop and role-playing games. I've mentioned this many times, and the the topography of of the gaming community has changed immensely in that time. My exposure to the gaming community and stuff has changed drastically too, especially with the internet. The internet has changed everything for everybody on this planet. We're all experiencing that. Within the gaming community, there's huge stuff happening. Now we can do these online games where you can play with people around the world. Now we have games that are being produced and streamed and aired live as well as recorded actual games where people are playing their games the way they play their game, but then sharing it with the rest of us so we can get exposure to like what other games might look like and what other game styles might look like and so forth. So there's all these great things happening. So I'm going to start with something real basic this week. I'm just going to take a few minutes to talk about creating a healthy table. A couple, keys that I think, again, just a little bit of a caveat and a little bit of a background. Like, why would I talk about this? Why am I even some kind of an authority or something about this? I'm a certified hypnotherapist and stress management coach. I'm trained to help people deal with that stuff, as well as peak performance and all sorts of other things. Now, with that being said, I'm a gamer. I've been playing games, like I've said, video games, role-playing games, all these stuff since I can remember. I mean, I was in the generation where the Atari was huge, because before the Atari, there was nothing, pretty much. Then the Atari came out and changed the landscape of humanity, because video games were introduced to the world. So I grew up in the arcade. I grew up all this stuff. And I have the training to talk a little bit about some mental health and specifically this. From my perspective, the way I've been trained, it's all about personal control, personal responsibility, taking responsibility for your own stuff, and then hopefully that bleeds out into making the world around you a better place. So when I look at the gaming community, one thing that I think is super important is how do we create a healthy, happy, fun environment for our game? Whether it's online, whether it's at a convention, or at a game shop, or at a home, on a table, at the library, whatever. So here's a couple of simple, quick keys. First and foremost, one thing you can do to create a safe environment is, I guess, set the intention. Before you even start the game, it's like, we're going to have fun, first and foremost. Two, we're going to respect each other. I think respect is huge. So, take the time to think these out ahead of time. Treat each other with respect. Be decent at the table. Obviously, don't be a dick. There's some really simple, basic things that will make an environment really huge. Have an absolute zero tolerance for things like bullying or abuse of any kind. Verbal abuse is terrible. And we all have a responsibility. So on a certain level, whether you're the DM or the player, being respectful at the table is going to go a long way. You want to respect the other players because you want them to respect you. If you're going to create trust, which is what's really important for a gaming group, if you're going to play for the long term, it's more important on some level. Short-term games, I guess, again, if it's a short-term game, it's hit or miss, but still, be respectful at the table. Listen. That's another very critical key, is listen to the other people. If people are giving you feedback, accept the feedback with humility. They're telling you something because A, they're trying to help you, or B, they're trying to protect themselves or trying to take care of themselves. So you got to listen to each other and communicate. These are just some simple, basic things. I'll talk a lot more about this. I think this is a huge topic. So I'm just going to scratch the surface with this first little glimpse into what I'm going to talk about. I think for the next few sessions of this kind of this Mental Health Monday kind of D&D RPG session, how do we tie the two together? How do we make the gaming community healthier, happier, more friendly, more inviting? I'm going to talk about those. So the quick tips for today are at the table: listen, communicate, and be respectful. Those are the first few I'm going to share with y'all and suggest. I'll talk very more in depth about those in the coming weeks. So this is sort of, maybe just think of this like a little tease about what I'm going to share with you. And I hope that's okay. I mean, that's how I feel like I want to introduce this to you. Again, I told you a little bit about why I feel like I can talk about this, or I should talk about this, and why it's important to me. I'm going to talk for just a sec here about why it's personally important. Why me, Gregory, why I think this is hugely important. I was a little shocked. So I played for years and years and years with a small group of friends. When I was a younger kid, it was the same thing. It was a small group of my friends. We played together. We were sort of the outcasts. Like, we were the kids that didn't have a lot of friends, and we had this common, pastime that we all enjoyed. So we sort of bonded and banded together. Same sort of thing happened in high school, where it was like, again, we're some of the outcasts, some of the oddballs in the school, and we happened to come together and we started playing D&D. Those same guys, I ended up playing with D&D and other games, Battletech, Car Wars, Cyberpunk, all these other fantastic games through the years, for years and years and years. And it was only in the last 4 or 5 years, or maybe a little touch longer than that, I'm not sure exactly, but about that amount of time, that I actually got exposed to the larger gaming community. Started going to game stores, playing games, started playing online, started watching stuff on YouTube and all this. And I was really shocked to find out that people were having bad experiences at a game table. To me, that is just I couldn't fathom it, because it never happened to me. It never happened to anyone personally that I related to. And at the same time, I could totally understand it. I mean, I could see, oh, wow, yeah. People like me, if we're at the gaming community, I'm a sensitive guy. So I can imagine, I know what being bullied is all about. I've experienced that. It sucks. And I can imagine how that might happen at the table, or in a community, or even at a home game. So I can get that. And so I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to take this huge, massive, important topic, and I'm going to try to touch base a little bit every week, once a week maybe, and we'll just try to start breaking it down so that we can all have a happier, healthier gaming experience. Because that's what my experience always was. That's what I loved about D&D and other role-playing games. It was an escape from all that crap from the outside world. The bullying, the being picked on, being, I don't want to say abused, because that's not exactly what my experience was, but the harshness, let's say, of people that looked at geeks and gamers in such a way. And it's flipped completely around. And what does that mean? How do we deal with that? How do we avoid these kind of toxic relationships, these toxic experiences on our games? Because none of my games were like that, and I really want to help others to avoid that. And it's something that, again, personally, to me, seeing that in the community, I feel a responsibility to help do something about that. Because I've got the skills to help people to address that stuff. I've mentioned it before, and I'm going to say it every time I do one of these Mental Health Mondays. If there's something specific that you are facing or want some help dealing with, please reach out to me. I'm here for you guys. I want everyone to have a healthy life first, be happy first, and then let's play some freaking awesome games together and have a good time and fun and have some laughs and create this beautiful, wonderful, growing movement of joy. Because to me, that's what it's supposed to be about. I hope that is what I hope we can connect with. I hope that means something to you. Thank you for giving me a few minutes to talk about this. One more time to recap. Simple tip to create a great gaming experience, especially if you're the DM. Set this as the tone for your table. Very simply, be respectful first, listen, and communicate. These are the first few tips that I'm going to share. There will be plenty more going forward. That's a good starting point. Self-respect and respect the people at the table. Listen to the people at the table and then communicate. Make sure you're clear and honest about what's going on and what you need. Those are simple tips to start. I'll dig deeper into those in future sessions and future episodes here of DnDaily. I appreciate your time. Thanks for stopping in and taking a listen for today. I hope to see you at a table someday. And in the meantime, go out there and keep rolling 20s.